everyone. I welcome you back in my new video lecture for class 7 SST. Children, I hope you all are keeping fine and taking care of your health. In this pandemic situation, keep praying for good health, peace and harmony of all humankind. Students, now you are getting e-newspaper from school. So I request you all to please read the newspaper on daily basis, which will help you in improving your vocabulary and knowledge. With this note, I would like to start my lecture on Geography Lesson 2. Children, have you ever thought what lies beneath the land where you live and what is there in the interior of the earth? I know you all want to know the answers of these questions. So let us begin our exploration to learn about the interior of the earth and the materials forming it. So let's start with the introduction. The earth came into existence about 5 billion years ago. Its surface has undergone several changes since then. A detailed study of the interior of the earth has revealed that the earth's interior is not same all throughout, which is clearly defined by this diagram which is given right inside. The density of materials forming the earth increases gradually from the surface to the interior. The physical and chemical properties of these materials vary. For example, during cooling process, the denser materials like iron, nickel stayed in the center and lighter ones like silicon, aluminium stayed in the outer surface. So, from this study, it has become clear that the earth is made up of three main layers: the crust, mantle and core. So we will discuss all one by one. Number 1, the crust. The crust is the solid outermost layer. It is also called the lithosphere. Next, children, please look at the picture which is given below at left hand side, which also clearly defines the upper part of the crust is called continental crust and it is about 35 km thick. The lower part is called oceanic crust and which is about 5 km thick. The continental crust is made up of silica and aluminium and so it is also called Sial. The oceanic crust is made up of silica and magnesium and therefore also called Sima. Next is the mantle. It lies between the crust and the core. The average density ranges between 3.5 gram to 5.5 gram per cubic meter. The temperature in the mantle is very high. Magma is found in this layer. It is approximately 2,900 km deep. It is made up of heavy elements like basalt, granite, sodium, magnesium, sulfur. But its main elements are silicon and magnesium. So it is also called Sima. Now move on to next. Next is the core. The core is the innermost layer of the earth. The average radius of the core is about 3,500 km. The temperature of this layer varies between 2,200 degrees Celsius and 5,000 degrees Celsius. The average density ranges between 9.9 gram and 13 gram per cubic. It is made up of heavy metals such as nickel and iron. Therefore, it is also called knife. Ni stands for nickel and Fe stands for iron. Our next topic is usefulness of the different layers of the earth. As we all know, the earth is home of various continents, islands, forests, animals, etc. And you know, children, from space, the surface of earth looks blue and cool, but inside it is so hot that rocks get melt. And due to extremely high temperature, it is not possible for us to study the earth's interior directly. So our knowledge about the interior of the earth is based on seismology. Now seismology is the study of the behavior of seismic or earthquake waves measured by seismographs. When the magma from the earth's interior cools down, it provides different types of rocks For example, igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. Before discussing about these rocks separately, let me explain you the rocks. The lithosphere is made up of rocks and minerals. Rocks are those materials which are obtained from the earth's crust. They include not only the hard material such as granite and marble, but also soft and loose materials such as chalk, clay, sand, and salt. Rocks are made up of minerals. They do not possess a definite chemical composition. Different types of rocks are formed in different ways. Thus, they have different characteristics with regard to their composition, color, size, and texture. So, on the basis of their mode of formation, there are three major types of rocks: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. Rocks are used for making buildings, roads, bridges, houses, etc. Some sedimentary rocks are used as source of chemicals. Now we will discuss all types of rocks individually in detail. Number 1, igneous rocks. The word igneous has been derived from the Latin word ignis, meaning fire. The igneous rocks are associated with volcanic eruptions. They are formed when magma cools down and solidifies. These rocks were the first to be formed and thus are also known as primary rocks. They occur in large, shapeless masses, are crystalline and hard in structure. Examples are granite, basalt, and dolerite. We can classify the igneous rocks in two types. One is extrusive igneous rocks. Second is intrusive igneous rocks. First, intrusive igneous rocks. The rocks that cools below the surface of the earth are called intrusive igneous rocks. The rate of cooling is slow inside the earth. Thus, the crystals formed on cooling are large. For example, granite and dolerite. The rocks that cools on the surface of the earth are called extrusive igneous rocks. These rocks are also known as volcanic rocks. Due to rapid cooling, the crystals are fine-grained. Basalt is an example of a such rock. The Deccan Plateau of India is made up of basalt rocks. So children, next is sedimentary rocks. The word sedimentary comes from Latin word sedimentum, meaning settle down. And how it is formed? Due to rain, wind, ice, plants and animal break rocks into fragments. These rock fragments are carried away by running water, wind and ice and are deposited in depressions. The deposited materials are called sediments. The loose sediments are then compressed and hardened to form layers of rocks. So these type of rocks are called sedimentary rocks. And you know, these rocks are the most widespread and cover about 75% of total land area of the earth. These rocks are softer than igneous rocks. It is also called stratified rocks as they are deposited in different layers. And these rocks also contains remains of animals and plants which called fossils between the layers. And the important examples of this type of rocks are sandstone, chalk, dolerite, etc. Now move on to next, which is metamorphic rocks. The word metamorphic is derived from a Greek word metamorphosis, meaning change of form. And how it is formed? The metamorphic rocks are actually combination of igneous or sedimentary rocks which have been changed due to excessive heat and pressure inside the earth. Excessive heat and pressure can change the original properties of rock such as their color, hardness, texture and mineral composition. Such changed rocks are called metamorphic rocks. And you know, the act of metamorphism takes hundreds of years. In due course of time, limestone can change into marble, shale into slate and sandstone into quartzite and so on. So I hope children it is clear to everyone now what kind of rocks are there. In the last, now we will discuss about rock cycle. You can see the one diagram is given at right hand side. which clearly shows what is exactly the rock cycle and how it is formed. So we'll discuss in detail. Like water cycle, the rocks also have a cycle. So let's understand this. The change of one type of rock into another type under certain conditions in a cyclic manner is known as the rock cycle. And the rock cycle has neither a beginning nor an end. In this process, the matter of the Earth's crust is not lost. So, the rock cycle operates in following ways. Number 1, the hot and molten magma forms igneous rocks on cooling. Number 2, these igneous rocks are exposed to different agents of weathering and erosion on the Earth's surface. Number 3, the broken rock fragments, when transported and deposited in basins, form sedimentary rocks. Next, the leftover igneous rocks and the newly formed sedimentary rocks are subjected to intense heat and pressure, and they change into metamorphic rocks in due course of time. Next is the sedimentary and metamorphic rocks are buried again and melt to form magma. And this magma again cools down and forms igneous rocks. So throughout the geological period of millions of years, rocks and minerals have been changed due to the working of rock cycle. So I hope children it is clear to all of you. In the last, we'll move on to minerals. Now what are minerals? So minerals are natural inorganic substances which have a definite chemical composition and physical properties, and they may be made up of single element, for example gold, sulfur, or more than one element, quartz. They can be metallic, for example copper and iron, or non-metallic too, example mica and gypsum. They are very useful in our day-to-day life, and they are used for building bridges, factories, computers, pencils, etc. They provide us with fuels like coal, petroleum, etc., as well as resinous stones, gems, and diamond. They are also used in industries, medicines, and fertilizers. So I hope children this chapter is clear, and now you can understand the chapter by reading from the book as well as going through this video. At the end, we have given question and answers which is given in your book. So I request you all to please do all the exercise in your geography copy. Thank you.